You're probably wondering, what's this idiot doing? Well, it's called Thymus thumping. Orangutans, gorillas, they do it naturally. Nature has its reasons. For me, I found myself doing some Thymus thumping this past Tuesday on the way back from Bell Buckle, Tennessee. I had some precious cargo to get home. Harvey Lewis had just run 75 hours at Big Dog's Backyard Ultra World Championships for Team USA, getting the assist. And so he was pretty tired. I was stuck in a traffic jam somewhere not too far from Nashville and just trying to stay alert. But Thymus thumping is not only to help keep you alert while driving and tired, it's something you can use late into a race. If you're struggling to stay awake, Thymus thumping is said to increase the production of white blood cells, make us feel better. I think it makes me feel more alert. As exciting as all of this thymus gland talk is, it's not why I'm creating this video. Want to talk about running the Indiana Trail 100 100-mile race, October 8th and 9th in Albion, Indiana, in the Chain O' Lakes Park, all the way in a pair of Xero TerraFlex II trail shoes. First, I would just like to share that the Indiana Trail 100 is an absolute gem. We were blessed with what I heard was the best weather they've ever had for the race. Lots of big, beautiful wooded areas, hills with just stunning views, lots of gorgeous small lakes, 4 25-mile loops with 2 drop bags per loop. So start finish, of course, you get a drop bag and a nice big warm tent. And at about 12.5 miles is one of the many aid stations with a drop bag option. So there was just a symmetry and simplicity to 4 loops, 25 miles. It flowed really well. They've just mastered this race. It was the 9th annual, but you would have guessed they've been doing it 20, 30 years. So go run Indiana Trail 100. I think you'll be glad. Both of my drop bags at Indiana Trail 100 contained Xero Z-Trail EV trail sport sandals. Typically I run my 100-mile races in sandals, oftentimes all the way in lightweight sandals with no socks, and going on the philosophy that the very least on your feet for any given situation or race is best in the long run. However, it was dark. I had never been on these trails. We had a 6 a.m. start on October 8th, Saturday morning, and I had a pair of size 12 Xero TerraFlexes on with no insoles to give my feet just a little more room inside with a thin pair of socks. And I wanted to do at least 12.5 to 25 miles in this pair of shoes to see what the terrain is and really decide if sandals would be appropriate. What I found was a substantial amount of gravel and quite a few sections with some grass. Grass can present an issue on bare toes. If I'm going to run in sandals, I prefer no socks with those sandals to really be able to feel as much as possible via the nerves in my feet, both the tops and bottoms of the feet. And so there were just enough obstacles out there in terms of some roots and rocks, grass. It was cold. I guess that was the main thing, is it was cold, and one of the benefits of running in sandals is to help keep the body cooler overall. So with the cool temperatures and the grass out there and the amount of potential places to stub a toe or whatever, I decided to go all the way in the TerraFlex IIs, which was a first time, and it went really well. No blisters, no problems. I will say that without the insoles inside these shoes, they were extra thin, and the balls of my feet got pretty sensitive. So I was really slow on the third loop, which would have been 50 to 75 miles in. Picked it up a little bit on the final fourth loop, and I would say the final 12 or so miles, I just said the heck with my feet aching and went all out. And at one point I was a little bit worried about the final cutoff time, and after initially thinking I might go 27, 28 hours, that time kept backing up to the point where I thought maybe I can do 29 and a half. On that last loop, my GPS watch settings became mixed up. I couldn't fix it. So basically all I had was the total time elapsed and total miles run on my watch. So I didn't even know my pace. I just knew I needed to go, 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 and ended up beating the time cut by 54 minutes. So quite a bit of time made up that last loop. Xero TerraFlex were fantastic. For 2022, my big goal was to conquer 300-mile races not too far from home, races that had always intimidated me. Turned 60 on August 25th, and so got Potawatomi by just over an hour. Only 21 of us did it on the 100-mile official start at Burning River, done late July, last day of July, by just 16-17 minutes. And last but not least, the smallest super shiny buckle, Indiana Trail 100. All three of these races were fairly close to the edge of my abilities based on the difficulty and the timeline, and so yeah, super happy to get them done. Something else sort of magical, serendipitous happened on my 60th birthday. I was featured on the front cover of the local Dayton Daily News, and she just wrote a really nice story about my running, my nutrition, my sandal running, barefoot running, etc. There's a picture from the local tie-dye 50K where I had a really good run that day. Another picture after the Cloud Splitter 100 miler. I ran in a pair of sandals. There's my wife and daughter there. They even carried the story on into the center section of the paper. A picture of my wife and 3 daughters. A picture of my wife finishing an Ohio 100 miler as a pacer with me at the Canal Corridor 100. Was one of the only 100 milers happening in July, the first year of the pandemic. I would have to admit that I've been doing a little bit too much racing and running lately. Currently feeling a pretty deep need to back off and to just sort of rest for a while. One of the folks that I met during the Indiana Trail 100, I just want to talk about him for a minute. A lot of people I'm sure are familiar with Gene Dykes. At about 79 miles, pitch dark, cold, very cold, a gentleman passed me and he had a London Marathon jacket on that looked brand new. So I caught back up with him and just asked him about that, let him know that I had a daughter at the London School of Economics, and we just chatted a little bit about London. I come to find out that he had just run a 3-hour and 19-minute London Marathon like 6 days prior. Of course, had to have an international flight home, drove, I believe, from Pennsylvania all the way to Indiana. Again, this man's 74 years old. Also come to find out, he's also at 79 miles into a 100 miler, and he has the age-specific marathon world record for a 70-year-old, which happened to be also at the London Marathon, and it was well under 3 hours. So I absolutely love running into these outliers at these 100-mile races. They inspire me to hopefully be participating in 100-mile races into my not only my 60s, but hopefully longer. One other item on my mind is that I will hit a 12th anniversary on a 100% plant-based diet this December 12th. Again, thanks to Dr. Ruth Heydrich, the one featured in Christopher McDougall's Born to Run, for helping me fully commit to that back in December of 2010. One of the best decisions I've ever made, and definitely a topic I want to dig deeper into sometime soon. Next up though will be some shoe reviews for some new products coming out from my very favorite shoe company.
Peace.